Alright, what's going on guys? It is Kieran here, and today I'm going to bring you an interview based on a game that I played, which was Radial G. And I've got the game developer here on Skype now, so what I'm going to do is quickly call him up, ask him a few questions about the game that maybe I want to know and maybe some of you guys may want to know. And yeah, I'll see how this interview goes, I guess. To begin with, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Sam Watts and I'm the game producer for Tamika Games, currently working on Radial G Racing Revolved.
Okay, so if you would like to expand on the game, pretty much.
Radial G is a high-octane arcade sci-fi racer designed for virtual reality from the ground up, but we are also working with a non-VR version, because obviously we're aware that not everyone has Oculus Rifts or Razer OS VR headsets just yet, and we've been working on it since about April last year. We did a Kickstarter, then we got accepted through Steam Greenlight and launched on Steam Early Access in December 2014 and for our full release in May.
And that's only it seems to be a very success at the moment, doesn't it?
Seems to be fairly busy, going well. Getting lots of coverage. Had a great time at EGX Resd.
That was good.
Met yourselves. And well, on the Saturday, people were happy to queue for an hour and a half to get a go. So
yeah, pretty much. I remember sitting there for about at least a good half hour trying to queue up for that, and I'm pretty sure on the day, was it the Oculus Rift that pretty much made that busy, wasn't it?
I think there's always going to be a big demand for anything that is VR. Yeah. But from talking to other developers at other stands, a lot of people were just talking about the game itself. So it's a bit of both.
Yeah, if you had to have an honest opinion, would you prefer the Oculus Rift or would you prefer the 2D version?
That's I actually really do like the game as it stands without VR.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I played the 2D version and I didn't see any faults with the game, to be honest with you.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah, it was enjoyable, even though I was playing in a different mode, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I do also really love the extra level of immersion that the Oculus.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, we designed it for VR, so that is obviously our main aim, is to have a full game ready for when these devices become available commercially.
Yeah. So the game, is it currently available on all platforms, or is it available on a certain amount of platforms?
At the moment, we're only doing Windows Steam Early Access. Okay. We looked at like Mac and Linux, but obviously as we're targeting VR first and foremost, the Oculus support for Mac is good, but the Mac hardware isn't particularly good for the amount of graphical power you need to run it smoothly.
Okay.
And then on Linux, the support from Oculus is still listed as experimental, and obviously being a small team, we have to be careful where we allocate our budget and time to. So we'll revisit those in the future. Yeah. But then obviously we've talked about releasing on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, so we'll be moving on to those after May, once we've got the first full release on Steam out, just for Windows. But again, thanks to using Unity, we can port across fairly easily, and our first PS4 playable build of the non-VR version, it only took about sort of 5 hours to port.
That's not too bad.
To have it up and running. So there's obviously a lot of polish left to be done, and a lot of Sony specific UI to put in, but we were expecting it to take a bit longer, like a couple of weeks, so for it to take 5 hours was quite a bonus, really.
The final question would be, will there be any features to come in this game, so any like future developments from this game?
We'll carry on adding new tracks and new ships, and want to add like ship customization. We would love to be able to do like a track editor, so people can obviously create their own tracks.
I mean, that's a brilliant idea. I like the sound of that. I like it.
It's just a case of working out how it all works, because it seemed relatively straightforward with like a series of tubes, but the way we've done it, we haven't made it particularly easy for ourselves to make other people allowed to create tracks and share them easily. There's a lot of tweaking that has to go on once the base track has been made. And obviously we are very careful about the tracks that we make because of the whole VR side. We don't want to make tracks that are just going to make people puke straight away. So they're all designed very carefully to sort of give maximum impact with minimum potential for motion sickness. But I'm sure we could work on a track editor with a caveat of if you make a horrendous track, it's your fault kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean that sounds a good idea. And also, with the multiplayer, is it able to play against people that also have this game as well, or is it like, say, with a friend, say?
The single player mode you can do races up against at the moment 15 AI opposition, but then we've got online multiplayer working already with the Steam ID Access.
Oh,
now.
Right, fair enough. I didn't come across that.
Oh, right.
That'll be something to do.
We need to improve the way that the UI works in the multiplayer because it's not necessarily clear or quick and easy for people at the moment. So that's something we'll be looking at for the next update.
All right.
Just so there's a big, easy, simple, quick race button, so people can hop in quite easily. Obviously, as the user base grows and more people are playing, then there'll be more servers and more games to join. But we want to end up with 32 multiplayer, so we've got quite lofty goals in that regard.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it from me. So if you guys do be sure want to keep your eyes out for this amazing game, then link will be in the description below for the Steam code. Well, the Steam anyway, and all that, you can buy it. And also, if you do follow their Twitter, which will also be a link in the description below, to keep updated on what they release and when the full game will be officially came out, I guess. So
that's great.
Thank you very much for the interview, Sam.
That's all right. Good to talk to you again.
You too.